Hi, Shabbat Shalom. I'm so happy to be with you here today to give you this teaching for B'nai Jeshurun in anticipation of Shabbat. So the teaching I want to offer today is about the Torah portion, which is Tetzaveh. And in this Torah portion, it's interesting because we happen to just be coming right out of Purim, which is all about holding dynamic opposites at the same time, and about costumes and clothing and, taking one off and putting others on. And this Torah portion is also very much about clothes and costumes and what we are supposed to be wearing, what the high priests particularly are supposed to be wearing in their worship. And I want to hone in specifically on one part of what Aaron, the high priest, is instructed to wear when he goes into the sanctuary, to the holiest part of the sanctuary. And the Parsha reads, when talking about his vest, his clothing, and on its bottom hem you shall make pomegranates of blue, purple, and crimson wool, on its bottom hem all around, and golden bells in their midst. A golden bell and a pomegranate, a golden bell and a pomegranate. Pa'amon sahav v'rimon, pa'amon sahav v'rimon. Repeated like that twice in the text, on the bottom hem of the robe all around. It shall be on Aaron when he performs the service, and its sound shall be heard when he enters the holy space before the divine, and when he leaves, so that he will not die. So that's the section I want us to focus on. And it's puzzling, this last little section, so that he will not die. Like the bells ringing as he's walking in and as he's walking out are that important. The fact that the pomegranates and the bells are both present is about life and death at this moment. And so, there's lots of commentary about that, but for me, it always serves, whenever the text kind of reads like that, it serves as like a wake-up call. Like, this is serious. What we're trying to tell you here is serious. This is not about, a superficial clothing item. This is about something really important. So what is that really important thing? Bells and pomegranates. So let's start with the bells. What does the bells mean in this context? Well, what is a bell? A bell, any kind of bell, its very definition is that it's a hollow object that when hit, it makes a sound. So that's true with like the Liberty Bell, like the caricature of a bell that we often think of. And for those of us meditators, it's true for these types of bells. This is more of like a singing bowl, but same idea, right? You ring it, it makes a sound, and it makes the sound because it's hollow inside. Key to its function is its emptiness, its hollowness. And out of that hollowness, out of that sense of total emptiness, of the void, comes the call. It comes this loud ring, this song from that place of utter emptiness. And that song is so important that it's keeping Aaron tethered to the world somehow. It's keeping him connected to life when maybe he would have floated away, or, something else would have been too intense for him. So let's take that inside for just a minute. We're not going to do our meditation just yet, but I just want you to do for a second, you can place a hand on your heart or a hand in your stomach and close your eyes and notice for yourself, where are you feeling empty? And I'm not talking about the kind of philosophical, something is always filled with something emptiness. I'm talking about that just utter feeling of depletion, of emptiness, of hollowness inside, So many of us at this point in the pandemic are maybe on our 50th pandemic wall. We're maybe feeling exhausted or stressed or grieving or lonely. And so notice where that might be for you, where you might be holding that emptiness. And imagine that place of emptiness and hollowness is your offering. That's what we're bringing forward into the divine. That it's not a defect of who we are. It doesn't mean that we failed in some way. It's essential to the song that we have to sing in this moment. That's where the song is going to come from that place of that feels like there's nothing left. And out of that place is our song. It makes me think of that Leonard Cohen song lyric, ring the bells that still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. And often we refer to that line, I think, as Jewish spiritual folks when we're talking about cracks and light. But the first line is ring the bells, because they're empty. And that is the perfect offering. That's it. That's what we need to offer. Hold that right over here. Because remember, we're coming out of Purim, and we have this moment of holding two opposites. So our emptiness is here, depletion, our exhaustion. And right here, right side by side, over and over again, pa'amon sahav, verimon, pa'amon sahav, verimon. We have the rimon, the pomegranate. Why the pomegranate? If you've ever seen a pomegranate, you open it up and it is packed full of seeds. No room for almost anything else. It is pure seeds. And the seeds it's like the exact opposite of that empty bell. The pomegranate is the pomegranate because there is no empty space, because it is nothing but pure life, pure fertility. It's dense with life itself. And that too can be part of our offering. That too is within us. At the same time as that emptiness is there, we also have this life force, this hope buried there that is just as important as the emptiness. And so the same way I asked you before, for just a moment now, can you feel within you the rimon, the pomegranate? Can you feel those little seeds of hope brewing? The fruit, the richness of creation, of life willing itself to be born, to come into being. Fertility where we thought there was none. And I don't mean in the literal sense, I mean in the life force sense. Do we believe it's there? Can we feel it there within us right now? And we want to add it to that same sacred place as the bells. So we're ringing the bells and we're remembering the truth of what we have to offer, of what is there to be born through us, through the pomegranate. The poetry that I really like that evokes this for me is by Mark Nepo. And he writes, all the buried seeds crack open in the dark the instant they surrender to a process they can't see. All the buried seeds crack open in the dark the instant they surrender to a process they can't see. He says, what a powerful lesson is the beginning of spring. All around us, everything small and buried surrenders to the process that none of the buried parts can see. And this innate surrender allows everything edible and fragrant to break ground into a life of light that we call spring. As the seed buried in the earth can't imagine itself as an orchid or a hyacinth, neither can a heart packed with hurt imagine itself loved or at peace. The courage of the seed is that once cracking, it cracks all the way. And even though he's talking about a seed, really like the pomegranate is that tenfold, 100-fold, however many seeds are in a pomegranate. Just this courage, this bravery to lie in there, waiting to burst forth. And that's our hope. That is our creativity and our life force and our energy. So can we have faith, have trust that that's there as well right now within us? And so let's give it a try. Let's sit with this imagery of the bell and the emptiness and the pomegranate and the fullness, and see what it feels like to toggle back and forth, to feel like, can they both be there at the very same time? So I want to invite you to find a position, a posture, a seat that feels comfortable for you for the remainder of our meditation. And I'm going to guide us through, but I want to say at the outset that if you are new to meditation, or if you know about yourself, like all of us, like most humans, that your mind wanders a lot, do not worry about it. That is normal. That is what the mind likes to do. Just like the heart beats, the mind likes to wander. It is not a failure. You aren't doing anything wrong. As soon as you notice that you are somewhere, that you left, that you went somewhere, you just bring your attention back over and over again to the sound of my voice, or I'll be actually ringing the bell during a part of the meditation. And so as soon as you notice, oh, that bell is my sound of coming back, or the sound of my voice is my sound of coming back, you don't have to do a lot of beating yourself up. It's just a softening and a return, softening and a return back to our point of focus over and over again for the remainder of the meditation. So find that comfortable position. You can give your shoulders a roll if that feels nice. Give your body a twist. Allow yourself to settle into this Shabbat that's on its way. However your day was, however your program was, this is a new moment. This is a new time to arrive. And once you feel your body is settled, a little open, you feel comfortable, you can bring a few deep breaths to let your body know that you're safe, to settle in. You can feel your weight of your body in your chair or whatever you're sitting on. Feel your feet grounding into the floor. If it works for your body, if it feels okay, I invite you to bring a lift through the crown of your head, lifting up the spine, but relaxing the shoulders, allowing the shoulder blades to slide down the back, opening up across the chest, softening the jaw, softening the muscles of the face. You can close your eyes, or you can keep them very softly focused in front of you. Palms up if you want to keep awake, palms down if you want to calm down. Or in your lap if you want to bring that energy inside. And I want to invite you once again to find that place within you that is empty, not in a bad sense, but in an honest sense, a surrender, an openness. A release, an exhaustion, maybe grief. Whatever that hollowness is for you, notice where you feel it in the body. How do you know that that's what you feel? Notice the signals your body is telling you and where it's located. Bring your breath there. If you want, you could bring a hand to that part that feels empty, that feels hollow. And imagine yourself offering that to God, to the mystery, bringing that into Shabbat as your bell to ring. There's nothing wrong with how you're feeling. There's nothing wrong with that emptiness. That is the song. Softening any resistance in the body, softening any fight against feeling how you're feeling. Allowing the breath to just cradle, to welcome. I'm going to ring the bell a few times. Just let the bell proclaim your own offering of emptiness. Let it wake you up to what is true, to life in this moment, so that like Aaron, you can connect to that life from that place of emptiness. Feeling the reverberations of that bell in your body. Of your own bell, your inner bell. Making space for what that one has to sing. What would that sound like if that emptiness could speak, could sing? Breathing, listening, and being present with it. I want to invite you now to shift into the other part of the hem. Those beautiful pomegranates. Evocative, beautiful, but particularly poignant and important for what they have inside of them. For those buried seeds, those reminders of life, of hope. Where do you feel that? Can you feel that? Where do you locate that hope right now in your body? Can you feel that life energy? Coursing through your veins, beating with your heart, breathing you. Feeling your aliveness in this moment. What wants to unfold through you? What wants to be born? Maybe it's buried, maybe it doesn't know how, it doesn't see the process. But just like in that Mark Nepo quote, can it surrender? Can it crack open to a process that it does not see? Can we touch that fertility, that verdancy within us in this moment? What does that feel like? Dropping in, making space, breathing into it. For me, I feel mine in the belly area. I guess the literal womb area, but you might feel yours somewhere else. And just like with the emptiness, you can allow the breath to go to that area. Put your hands there. And as best as you can, soften. Welcome those little seeds of hope. And if you can't feel them, just know that they're there, that there is a spring coming at the end of this winter. That it will will burst forth, that life will burst forth. Breathing into that, softening into that. Bell, pomegranate, pomegranate, bell. Both true at the same time. Both essential. Empty, full, empty, and full. I invite you to release just one more time. Perhaps to make an intention. What you want to bring into this Shabbat, this Tetzaveh. And whether there's some part of either the emptiness or the fullness or both that you want to remember to carry with you, to ring in front of you, and as you leave, to remind you of this truth that we are both full, packed to the brim with life, and totally empty vessels made of nothing but God. I'm going to ring the bell, and when I do, I invite you, if your eyes are closed, you can open them, or you can otherwise bring your attention back. So thank you so much for practicing with me today. Shabbat Shalom. May your Shabbat be safe, sweet, restful, and life-giving. And I look forward to practicing with you again sometime soon in the future. Take care.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
We just come to the end of the holiday of Purim. I hope everybody had a joyful day, an opportunity to rejoice, to celebrate, to have a little bit of fun. And now we turn into Shabbat. We begin with the Yedid Nefesh on page 10 in Lev Shalem, page 252 in Sim Shalom. And now we move from the joy of Purim into the beautiful depth and spirituality of Shabbat. And this psalm will help us make that transition, that the song, this Piyut Yedid Nefesh, will help us make that transition. Page 11 or 254.
כי הוא אלוהינו ואנחנו איתו את צומנו היום בקולו תשמעו אל תגשו לבבכם
ארבעים שנה קוד בדור בעומר עמדו אל לבבם הם לא ידעו דרך אשר נשבעתי בימים יבוא אל מנוחתי
שירו לאדוני שיר חדש שירו לאדוני כל הארץ שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו בשר מיום ביום ישועתו כבודו
כי גדול אדוני עמלם מאוד
לא ראו על כל אלוהים
כי כל אלוהי העמים אלילים
ואדוני שמיים עשה
עוד והדר לפניו
עוז ותפארת במקדשו
עבוד אדוני משפחות עמים
עבוד אדוני
כבוד ועוז
עבוד אדוני כבוד שמו שאו מנחה ולחסותו השתחוו לאדוני בהדרת קודש
תהילו מפעם
כל
הארץ זמרו מבואים אדוני מלך
עבדי קונטרת בעלתי מות ידי לעמים במשרים
ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ
עיר המים ולא
לא צדק וכל אשר בו
אז ירננו כל הצייר
לפני אדוני כי בא
לשפוט הארץ לשפוט תבל בצדק
בעמים
באמונתו ינני ינני ננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננננn
Hey
צאצאי שרה מלפני הנון בארץ מן השמיים צדקו כל העם כיוונו ורק בית אלים ישתחו כל אלים
שמע ותשמח ציון ותגרנה בנות יהודה למען משפטך אדוני כי אתה אדוני
אוהבי אדוני סינורה שומר נפשות חסידיו מיד רשעים יצילם אור זרו על הצדיק ולשרי לב שמחה שמחו צדיקות באדוני והודו לזכר קודשו מזמור שיר שלנו תעשה שיעלו ימינו זו קודשו הודיע אדוני ישוע אדוני גברת הריעו לאדוני כל הארץ פצחו ורננו וזמרו
לפני אדוני קיווה לשפוט ארץ ישפוט טבע בצדק ועמים במישרים.
Page 19, אדוני מלך יזוהן ושם גלותנו בארץ אדוני בציון גדול זרם כל העמים יודו שמך אדוני. משה ואהרון בכהניו ושמואל בקורא שמו קוראים אל אדוני והוא יענה
נושאת להם בנוגעים על עלילותם
רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו יזבור לדוד
עבוד אדוני בתהילים עבוד אדוני כבוד העוז אדוני כבוד שמו ישתחוו לאדוני
אדוני על המים אל הכבוד הלבנון וירקיד היה שם ישב אדוני מלך לעולם
אדוני עוזר אבו ייתן אדוני יברך עמו בשלום
This week's Parshat Tetzaveh continues, unfolds the instructions of the building of the Mishkan, which started last week in Parshat Teruma. Parshat Teruma deals with the building of the structure itself and all the elements that are going inside of the Mishkan, the ark, the table, the altar, the lamp, the curtain. And in Parshat Tetzaveh, the Torah begins by telling us about the preparation of the oil that is going to be placed in the lamps for the lighting of the light inside of the Mishkan. And then the Torah continues to describe the making of the priestly vestments. Very beautiful and elaborate, and it talks about all the garments that Aaron, the high priest, is going to wear. And it says here that he's going to wear these holy vestments, lechavod ultiferet. He's going to build them for dignity and for adornment, for honor, for glory, for beauty, lechavod ultiferet. And all the commentaries indicate that this is to indicate not his own honor and his own beauty and dignity, but to, in many ways, to evoke God's presence, God's beauty, God's dignity, God's holiness. So first, the preparation of the oil for the light, and then the garments of the Kohen Gadol, of the high priest. The Sfat Emet comments on this sequence. First the oil, then the garments. He says the oil represents the soul, the neshama, which is lit, which provides the spiritual light of a person's mind, a person's heart, a person's soul. The interiority of the person, where the candle, where the fire of God burns. And then the vestments of the priest represent the body of a person. And so he says, the Sfat Emet, Torah tells us about how to keep. It says here that the oil has to be pure and clear. How to keep our soul, our mind clear and pure. And then how to keep our bodies, lechavod ultiferet, with honor and dignity, with beauty, with holiness. We wake up every morning and we say two blessings. The first two blessings we say, one is for the gift of the body, the other one is for the gift of the soul. Those of us who participate in Minyan every day, we know that this is how we begin to acknowledge our body and to acknowledge our soul. And then, of course, the struggle of a human being throughout the day, every single day, is how to keep them pure, how to keep them clean, both the mind and the body, how to hold ourselves in the world, both spiritually and physically, with honor and with holiness. Not an easy task. You'll see in Lechadodi, as we sing it in just a few moments, that these verses refer also. It says, Itoreri, Itoreri, rouse yourself, awaken. Kiva orech, because your light is coming. Kumi ori, rise up, my light, and glow. And this refers to the neshama. And then it says, at some point later on, it says, it talks about the garments of the people. it says, Lifshi bigdei tifartechami, wear your garments of glory, my people. So could be referring also to the bodily existence of the people. And so, as we now sing these verses of Lecha Dodi, let's remember, we're not just meant to be spiritual beings, we're not just meant to be physical beings, we're meant to integrate our spirituality and our physicality. Not an easy task. Some of us are very invested in our physical, in the material, in this material physical world. Very invested, sometimes overly invested. Some of us are overly invested in our spirituality and interiority. We don't live on the outside, we only live on the inside. But the Mishkan and the body and the person, not the body, but the person is a Mishkan Me'at, a Mikdash Me'at. The person is a small sanctuary, is to integrate both the physical, the spiritual, the light, the dignity, the beauty, and the holiness all together. And Shabbat has a lot to teach us about that, about how to keep these two things, these two aspects together as one, aligned, in harmony for God's service. Page 23, Lecha Dodi, or page 262 in Sim Shalom.
Itna מעפר קומי לבשי בגדי תפארתך עמי בני ישי בית הלך מכל כל וילנש גאלה אוי לך אדוני לקראת כאן פנשם לקבלה שבת נקבלה לא תבושים ותקדמי מה נשתוכחי ומתני וככסו אני ימי ונמתי Dai dai yo, diri dai dai ay lekha dori diri dai dai ya, diri dai dai ay lekha diri dai dai ya, diri dai dai ay tere Shabbat nekava, diri dai ay lekha dori diri dai dai ya, diri dai dai ay lekha diri dai dai ya. Shabbat nekava Ayim shisa shosai ve'achatu Vamevalayim yasisalayim Elohayim Imtzot zchatan akalayim Didi-dai-dai-ya Didi-dai-dai-ya Lechado Didi-dai-dai-ya Didi-dai-dai-ya Didi-dai-dai-yo Didi-dai-dai-ya Pene Shabbat Pre Shabbat nekava Didi-dai-dai-ya Didi-dai-dai-ya Pene Shabbat Pre Shabbat nekava Yaminu smol תפרוצי ותנוני תעריצי עד יביש בפרצי ונשמחה נריתה דידי די 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 לך דודי דידי די 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 קטן דידי די 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 בנשבת לשבת נקמה די 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 דידי די 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 די
בשלום לתת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצלה תוך אמוני ים סגולה שבת המלכה
We're going to pause for a moment. We have mourners in our community who are coming into this sanctuary to be with us and find hopefully some comfort on this week of their loss. I'd like to offer our condolences on behalf of the entire community to Barry and Elaine Waldman and their children, David and Rebecca. Also, Barry's mother is here. And we offer them condolences, them and their entire family, on the death of Barry's father, Benjamin Israel Waldman, with the words of comfort. המקום ינחם אתכם בתוך שאר אבלי ציון בירושלים. May God comfort you along with all the other mourners of Zion and Yerushalayim. Please come and find a seat, walk around. Barry and Elaine and their children are here every Shabbat, every single Shabbat. We have not seen you for all these months, and we hope that in weeks and months to come we'll be together again, and that we'll be able to offer you comfort from proximity, that all the families that you're so connected to and devoted to in this community will also be here to offer you comfort. We continue with Mizmor Shel Yom HaShabbat on page 27 or page 266.
מזמור של יום השבת, טוב להודות לנו לזמר לשמך עליון, להגיד בבוקר חסדיך ואמונתך בלילות, לעצוב עלינה עלי היגיון בחינוך, כי שימחתני אדוני בפעוליך ובמעשה ידיך נאמן. מה גדלו מעשיך היה מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. di cantamare fra che se valvano svesci dove odino besseva
odino besseva the shining banani yo lagi yasha
Allah יוד לביש לביש אדוני עוזתל מקולות מים רבים אדירים בשברי המדיר בבנו בנמיה שדותיך נאמנו מאוד לביתך נבע קודש אדוני לאורך ימים
Before we go into our Avit, we do Mariv together. We're going to sing the Baal Shem Tov Nigun. We've been singing it the past few weeks just to let it seep in. For me, when I learned this Nigun, and we've spoken about it a lot, but I think for me, I did it every week for months. For months, I would do it every week, and then it just started to seep in. It almost became every day. That subtle song of starting, right? You start slow, and we build up to that hope. And I think all of us right now can feel that moment, that spark and that cycle of reaching the hope and then coming back down a little bit, and the journey that we've all been taking over the past year. And so we invite everyone to join us from wherever you are, and let it seep into your body and your soul. Continue with Baruch Hu, which can be found on page 39A in the Lev Shalem or 279 in the Sim Shalom.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamborach.
Baruch Adonai Hamborach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamborach le'olam va'ed.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר בדברו מעל חוכמה פודה השם יתברך.
מעביר יום מביא לילה ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה אדוני צבאות שמו אל חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני המרים הרעים
עולם בית ישראל עמך ואתה תורה ומצוות חוקים ומשפטים אותנו לימדת כי הם חייל באורך ימינו ובהם נגע יומם ובלילה בבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל.
Adonai Elohim Emet.
We turn turn to page 44 or page 290.
מלכותו ברצון קיבלו הלב משה ומרים ובני ישראל לך אנו שירה בשמחה רבה ואמרו כולם מי כמוך באלים אדום מי כמוך נדר בכל נורא תהילות עוז מלכותך ובניך בוקע ים לפני משה זרי אנו בעמו אדוני לעולם ועד די 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 כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גל ישראל אשכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום
ושמור צאתנו ומוהנו לחיים ולשלום ואתה והעולם
ופרוס עלינו שומר ברוך אתה אדוני הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל יושבתנו ועל ירושלים שרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם בני ישראל אותי לעולם אותי לעולם כי ששת ימים עשה בעולם את השמיים והארץ ויום השני וביום השני שבת ויפש
יתקדש ויתקדש שמי רבה ועמד יברך יותר להמליך מלכותה
וחי נכון וביום נכון ובחיי לכל בית ישראל בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו יש מרבם מברך לעולם לרעיה יתברך
וישתבח ויתבהר ויתרומם ויינשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי תקדשה לעילם מכל ברכתה בשירתה
תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמא
Continue with the silent Amidah, which you can find on page 47 or page 296. We invite you to say the words on the prayer book, in the prayer book, in your heart, or just take a few moments of silence. Vayechulu, page 314 or 53. Vayechulu hashamayim va'aretz v'chol tzeva'am Vayecha Elohim bayom hashvi'i melachto asher asa Vayishbah bayom hashvi'i mikol melachto asher asa Vayevarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i Vayikadesh oto ki bo shava mikol melachto asher bara Elohim la'asot
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Eloheinu v'imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'hanora Elyon Kodesh Shamayim
נעבוד בדברו, מחיה מתים במאמרו, האל הקדוש שאין כמוהו, המניח לעמו ביום שבת קודשו, כי כבר רצה להניח להם, כי כבר רצה להניח להם, לפניו נעבוד ביראה ופחד, ונודה לשמו בכל יום תמיד מאוד הברכות. ההון הדור השלום מקדש השבת ומברך שביעי ומניח בקדושה לעמדו שלעוני זכר למעשה בראשית. אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ממותנו רצל במנוחתנו קדשנו במצוותיך ושמחתנו בתורתך שבנו מטווח ושמח נפשנו בשורתך וטהר ליבנו לעובדך באמת והנחילנו אדוני אלוהינו באהבה ורצון שבת קודשך וינוחו בה כל ישראל מקדשי שמך ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
Continue with Kaddish Shalem.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה
אמן.
בהעמד יברך יותר והמליך מלכותי בחייכון ובמכון ובחי לכל בית ישראל בעגלה ובזמן קרי וימרו
אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעלמיה יתברך
V'yishtabach v'yipar v'yitramam v'yinaseh v'yitadar v'yitala v'yitala shmei l'kodeshav le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata tishvechata v'nechemata da'amiram be'alma v'yimeru
אמן. תתקבל צלות ולמעותון לכל ישראל קודם אבוהון וישמעיה ויאמרו אמן.
אמן ישלם הרב אמין שמי וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ויאמרו
אמן. עושה שלום
עלינו ועל כל ישראל
ועל כל יושבי תבל ויאמרו אמן. קידוש?
Yes, Kiddush. We'll invite up our bat mitzvah. We have Alexandra and her family joining us who will be our bat mitzvah tomorrow. We look forward to celebrating with you and we'll let you lead us in Kiddush tonight to sanctify the holy day, a special weekend for you and your family. Baruch
Asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinhilanu zikaron le'amase v'reshit ki hu yom tehila lemikra'e kodesh zecher litziat mitzrayim kivanu ahavta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava v'ratzon Hinchantanu Baruch atah Adonai Mikades HaShabbat
L'chaim Mazal tov.
Mazal tov. We look forward to more tomorrow. So beautiful, such a beautiful Kiddush, and we can't wait to celebrate more. And we'll continue with Hamalach HaGoel Oti, which can be found on page 692. Lev Shalom, is that correct? 692 in the Lev Shalom, but it is not in the Sim Shalom yet, hopefully the next edition. But we send blessings to all of our children as we sing together.
Hamalach HaGoel Oti, Hamalach HaGoel Oti mikol ra, yevarech et Kaen bahem shemi V'shem avotai Avraham ve'Yitzchak ve'yitku darot b'kered haaretz.
We continue our blessings now with the priestly blessing, which we traditionally bless our children with on Shabbat, but really we open our hearts to blessing. All of us need the blessing, all of us being children and being open to this beautiful prayer of asking God to shine God's face upon us and smiling back at God's face.
אלוהים כשרה רבקה רחל ולאה, ישמחה אלוהים כאפרים וכמנשה. יברכך אדוני וישמרך, יאר אדוני פניו אליך והונקה, יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך שלום. אמן.
And we turn to page 56 or 320 for Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabbat l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה לעשר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חכינו כהם, וגואלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים משתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש
הוא אלוהינו אין עוד אמת דרכם זולתו, שמותן לרבך וקדמונה. והאלילים קלות יקרתו, תקנו על מאות שדה יכולים לעשות. שמך יקרתנו. כי מלכות שלך היא, ולעול מעט תמלוך בכבוד, כתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. נאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
We take a moment to say Mourners Kaddish together, and we invite those who are joining us on Zoom to unmute so that we can hear you. And you can find Mourners Kaddish on page 58 or 324. Yitgadal, Vitkadash, Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Be'alma, Divrach, Yirtei, Ve'amlich, Machutei. Bechayechon, Uve'yomechon, Uvechaye, Dechol, Beit Yisrael. Ba'agala, Uvizman Kariv, V'imru,
Amen.
Amen.
Yehi Shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lalmei almaya.
Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar, V'yitromam, V'yitnaseh. V'yitadar, V'yitaleh, V'yitalal, Shemei T'kudasha, Brechu.
Amen.
Da'elam, Minkol, Birchata, V'shirata, Tushbechata, V'nechemata, Da'amiram Be'alma, V'imru,
Amen.
Yehi, Shalama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chaim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen. Oseh Shalom Bimromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel, V'imru.
Amen.
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 Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Really wonderful to be here together, and we have a few families that are with us. And I'll start with we send our condolences and we welcome into the sanctuary the Waldman family. We have Barry and Elaine and his mother Harriet. Is that correct? And his mother Harriet. So and also their children Dave and Rebecca, who were really, really incredible in our Purim spiel last night. I just have to say, really, I know not an easy week, and especially being in mourning and also having Purim and holding both of those. So we as a community turn to all of you, to Barry, Elaine, Dave, Rebecca, and Harriet. We say, Hamakom Yenachem Etchem B'toch Shar Avlei Tzion V'Yerushalayim. We hold you and comfort you during this time as you mourn your father and your husband, Benjamin Israel Waldman. And we turn and we say Mazal Tov, and in the cycle of life, to Alexandra Horowitz and her parents, Allison and Jeffrey, and her brother Jonathan, who are joining us here and who you had the pleasure of hearing a beautiful kiddush from. So we're very much looking forward to celebrating your bat mitzvah as you become a bat mitzvah tomorrow. So we can't wait for that. And that'll be in the afternoon, I believe, at Mincha service. And then we continue the life cycle with a wedding. So we say Mazal Tov to Ariel Doctoroff and Phil Salinger on Ariel's parents, and Dan and Alyssa Doctoroff on Ariel and Phil's upcoming wedding. So we wish them a Mazal Tov. We say ya na 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 ya na ni na 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 na. So we're very excited for you and hope it's a wonderful celebration for your family. And we continue with Shabbat services tomorrow morning. You can do a Hachana L'Tfilah, and we invite you at 9 o'clock to join us for that. And then for Shabbat morning services, which you can find at 9:30. And we'll continue the Shabbat spirit with Mincha for Alexandra's Bat Mitzvah, which will be at 5:30 tomorrow. So lots of opportunities to pray together, to be in community, and to celebrate. And then, sadly, although we have lots of Shabbat left, we will say goodbye to Shabbat tomorrow night at 6:35 with Aravit and Havdalah on Zoom. But then we get a taste of Shabbat again because we continue with Malava Malka. So we're going to have music in the afterglow, meditations in sound with Frank London and friends. So we very much look forward to bringing the spirit of Shabbat into our week with music following Aravit. And then starting this week, you have the opportunity to learn with me. And I don't want to scare anyone, but we're going to be learning about Pesach, but it's still a month away. It's still a month away, so don't get nervous. But we'll have the opportunity to prepare our bodies and our souls and our minds for the journey of freedom, which we very much, I think, are craving these days.
I don't think I can go to the concert. It's going to be a very meditative concert with Dan and Frank and Vitor Gonzalez and the accordion. I don't think I can attend.
Why?
We have to start cleaning.
You have to start cleaning.
Tomorrow night.
Nice. You know,
as soon as Shabbat is over.
It's like when you build your sukkah right after Yom Kippur.
Exactly. Well, it is. So it's traditional. It is actually traditional to start learning about Pesach after Purim. But Roly, as we learned last night, is you, at the comfort of your own home, can clean for Pesach while Don is playing with his ensemble in the background. So the beauty of live stream and Zoom. But we really hope you'll join us and be present, even from your homes, for the Malava Malka, even though Pesach is far, far away. But join me on Monday at 12:30 for some learning. I look forward to learning with all of you. And then on Thursday, March 4th, we have our multi-faith candidate forum for Manhattan District Attorney. So you can find that, more information on our website after Shabbat at 7, and that will be at 7:30 on Thursday. So we look forward to spending the rest of Shabbat together. And we will conclude with Shalom Aleichem, which you can find on page 73 or 722.
מלאכי השרת, מלאכי עליון, מלאכי עליון, ממלך מלאכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, הקדוש ברוך הוא, בואכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי החיים, ממלך מלאכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, הקדוש ברוך הוא, ברכו דשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון, מלאכי רחמים, ממלך מלאכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שכל לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון, מלאכי רחמים, ממלך מלאכי מלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, הקדוש ברוך הוא, די 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 אדוני יברך את עמיו בשלום. אמן. שבת שלום.
Shabbat shalom.
שבת שלום. שבת שלום.
Shabbat shalom.